Good morning, everybody, and I welcome you to Ease of Spirit Ministries of Hope. We are featuring Makia Sachs, and she is also known as Marilyn Payne. She is a master teacher in a number of things. I'm just going to pull up her what I put on my announcement and share a little bit about Makia just in case you guys don't know. I want to welcome everybody here. We're starting to fill up. I see my mom is here, and my mom actually has sound, I believe. Hi, mommy. Okay, so I'm going to read about Makia Sachs, aka Marilyn Payne. She has a multitude of certifications. She is a holistic health practitioner, a certified holistic health practitioner. She's a certified wellness coach, which I think I'm going to have to start using because in this day and age, with all the things that's floating around in the atmosphere, in our collective consciousness, I need to keep myself up with the idea of wellness. And she is a certified master teacher of Chinese Qigong. She is also a Reiki, let me get this right, a Reiki master teacher. I always mess up the word Reiki. She's a Reiki master teacher and an associate polarity practitioner. So could you tell me a little bit about being associate polarity practitioner, because I'm not really familiar with that.
Me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, polarity was discovered by Dr. Stone, and he had checked out Chinese medicine and Ayurveda and different things like that. And from the standpoint, even in Qigong or Chinese medicine, one hand is positive and one hand is negative.
Okay.
So when you do polarity, the basic concept is when you do polarity, you got a pain in your thigh. You put one hand above and one hand below. But it goes much deeper than that. And it creates a movement of energy between the positive and the negative, because you're actually connecting like positive and negative, sort of like ions and so forth, through the blood. So it increases the circulation of the blood as well as the chi, the life force in the body.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Thank you for that, because I wasn't sure exactly what that was. Let me go back to reading just a little bit more. And she has studied metaphysics, root of life, for over 40 years. And that's more than I've been studying metaphysics, because I think I've been studying metaphysics for about 30 years. So, we have a master in the house. So I thank you for that. Wait a minute, I got something from Deb Callahan. I want to make sure that I'm not missing people that are trying to get in for one reason or another. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to move forth. So I want to welcome everybody. I see some repeat people. Welcome Bethany. Welcome Dan and Carol. I want to hey, Reverend Karen is in the house. How you doing, Reverend Karen? And Michelle, welcome to this first session. She was with us during our weekly discussion group. Ivetia, my friend. I welcome everyone. Doris, welcome to this session. I'm so excited about this session. I want to share just one thing that I love, and I'm going to let Makia talk about it, because I just love this one picture. Hold up one second. I'm going to share my screen. I love this picture. I tried to use this picture, but the one I used just works so well for meditation. and in this picture, just I love it. Could you tell me a little bit about what's going on and what this whole picture is about?
That was a picture that I was using to teach classes at the Atmos Center, and it was the name of the class was Tame Your Inner Dragons. Like in martial arts, as well as Chinese medicine, qigong, so forth and on, you have to learn to control your reactions.
Mm.
Um, all the emotional reactions are connected energetically to the organs and the glands and so forth and on. So through the practice of the elements, in balancing the elements, you learn to control the emotions. Now, different people have different emotions, like way out of whack.
Mhm.
You can see that when you do any kind of investigation into astrology.
Mhm.
You know, so taming your inner dragons is learning to become calm, because if there's some kind of tragedy, earthquake, and you just totally lose it, you're not going to think clearly
Can't
to
help
handle.
anyone.
Pardon?
I said, you can't help anyone.
Yes. So meditation is about learning to center yourself and to empower that power within you, which is your divine connection to God. And to come to understand that the most powerful thing that you have is your mind. When your mind is in control of your body, then you are empowered. When your body is in control and controlling your mind, you're in trouble. So if you
Mhm.
become fearful, your heart starts beating fast, you can barely breathe, you think you're very negative, your body is controlling your mind. But when if you start to feel that, and you have techniques and practice, you just can't, oh, okay, I can do that. It takes
Mhm.
practice to overcome these things, to learn to breathe deep, to learn how to tighten and release. And through practice, and everything is practice. There's no uh, American way like fast foods, no fast way to do this. It takes
Okay.
constant, regular practice. And I will
Yeah.
say that the universe has showed me some amazing things. And the universe always gives you a confirmation on what is working.
Amen. Thank you for that. I got to share with you guys something, and I don't know why Spirit is telling me to share with you, but this particular session that we are doing today for meditations with Makia is dedicated to my beloved angel who has made her transition, and that is Lulu Woodruff. And so I feel her spirit heavily upon me today for some reason, and I'm dedicating this to her today. And so with that, I am giving it all to Makia to move us forth into this session.
Okay, thank you so much. I thank everybody who was here today for showing up and sharing this time with me. And my intention is to go back over the meditation that we did last week with pictures to demonstrate what I'm talking about, so that you will better understand what I'm saying. A lot of people try to practice something. First time, it's like, oh, I don't feel nothing. This don't work. But it really doesn't work that way, because you have to learn to tame your body, get it to relax. You have to learn to breathe. The deeper you breathe from your abdomen, the more relaxed you're going to come. And if you breathe slow, then, and you sort of start trying to calm yourself down, this type of thing will build the conscious relationship between your mind and your body. And then your mind will gain control over your reactions and so forth and
Yeah.
on. There have been over in China and India different masters, yoga masters, qigong masters. For instance, they take a yoga master and he gets in a glass box and he lowers down all his vital functioning organs. They put a glass under his nose. There's no breath. There's no sign of life. They cover that up and seal it. They put him in a hole in the ground and leave him down there and bring him back up like maybe 3 days later, take it off, still no sign of life. And it takes him 3 days to come back. There's a man in India right now that they were doing research on who said he has never eaten or drank any foods in 70 years. That he lives off the sunlight. He's a breatharian. And I'm gonna have that article for next week. So we are unlimited in our potential of what we can do. One book that I truly love is The Science of Mind. And that's a book that I just truly love. And what I decided to do also here was to show you, for those who really want to try to understand Qigong and really what I'm talking about, I have some books to share with you. You know, Andrea, I'm seeing you on my computer. I can't hear you.
It depends on how you have it set up on your screen. So I see everybody, but
Okay.
before we move forward, I did forget one thing. I forgot prayer, and I don't know how I did that. So before we move any further, I just want to say, Holy Spirit, we invite you in this place. Holy Spirit, we invite you to move through each and every one of us. You know that you are the advocate. We know that you are the master teacher within us. And so we open ourselves up to what you would have us to learn. We ask that you bless Marilyn right now where she is. I see that light shining upon her from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet. We know that the meditations of her heart and the words that proceed from her mouth are going to be acceptable in your sight. And we ask that each and every one of us is open and receptive to what you would have us to learn. We are releasing this prayer in Jesus' mighty name. And so it is. Okay, now that's done. Thank you.
Okay, just briefly, there are some books that give the basics to Qigong, which everybody needs. And this is The Root of Chinese Qigong, The Secrets of the Qigong Training by Dr. Yang J. Ming. It's not really showing up too well. You know, so a lot of
the way up to the camera, all the way up to the camera.
It looks
there
dark.
You go. There you go.
Okay.
Now go down a little bit. Yep, keep it at the camera and then move down a little bit. There you go. There you go, right there.
Okay. Now there are books out on the energy. They call it different things in different countries. Qi in China, Prana in India, Qi and Korea or Japan. This is a female Qigong master who starts giving you the basis of the power of your mind. She's got 3 books.
Okay, move back a little bit. We just see her eyes. And move the book up a little bit. The First Element. And there you go.
There's a Chinese Qigong master out in California. She has 3 books. This is a book by a Chinese Qigong master called Cultivating the Energy of Life by Eve Wong.
Nice.
The Immortal Sisters. This is a dynamic book. Okay. I just have 2 more things to show you, then we're going to get started. There was a series years ago on PBS called Healing and the Mind by Bill Moyers. This is an excellent series that talks about how the mind controls the body and can be used for healing. In the Asian world, basically the emperors and the masters, like the yoga masters and the karate masters and the kung fu masters, were really the only ones that were developing this ability. They really didn't want the common person to know this information. This is a very good series. And
Marilyn, can I just interrupt you? There are a couple of comments in the chat that I think that you need to know about. One, Laura Lynn is asking about an author, and Doris is saying that while I was talking, people could not see the books. So I am going to tell you guys to unmute yourself and give, I'm just going to let them ask a few questions.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to ask the question, Laura Lynn, you wanted to know an author, but we don't know which book you're making reference to. If someone wants to see a particular book that she put up and you couldn't see because I was talking, I'm gonna give you a second to just unmute yourself, or I will unmute everybody and make it loud. I'm unmuting everybody for you guys to ask a few questions about the book before we get started.
This is Laura Lynn. I was just asking if we can get a list of the books and the authors after the session.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Good idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. It is rather dark to see this stuff. Okay, and then a book set that talks about the human potential is The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. This is a 6-book set. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I want really to the picture of the 3 energy centers.
You want the picture of the 3 energy centers? I cut you off a little bit because I muted everybody and had to unmute you. But the 3 energy centers, here we go.
Okay, we have 3 energy centers. They're called Dantians. One is the Sha Dantian, the Jun Dantian. The Sha is at the forehead. The Jun Dantian is the chest and the heart. And the Sha Dantian is the lower abdomen. Now, when you're doing Qigong and you're building the energy, you build the lower abdomen because it's your reservoir of energy. And this is a good display of those centers and the energy building and how the energy comes in the top of your head and through your perineum in your buttocks area, lower abdomen area. So when you are meditating and breathing, energy is coming in. Those are 2 main ports, and it's coming in, and most of the energy is going down to your bottom reservoir Dantian, Sha Dantian. Then it is redistributed by an electric circuit in your body called the microcosmic orbit, which we're going to talk about another day. But when we are doing this meditation and you're breathing in, what I want you to do is know that through the top of your head and from your feet, the energy is coming up, and they're both coming down to the bottom Dantian, and you're storing energy there. So now if you can switch over to the picture of the light.
Let me see if it switches easily. It may not. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Okay, then I gotta stop the share and start it over. Ooh, I messed up too. I'm gonna stop the share. Keep talking and I will find that for you.
Okay, so the thing about this, it's usually when we teach classes, it takes for some people about 2 weeks to feel the energy. Now, if you're on medication for nerves, anxiety, nerve damage, pain, that the medication will, for some people, sort of deaden the senses and the feeling in the body. So it might take longer for you to actually feel the energy. Now, the more, yeah, that's the picture. The more, if you have had anything to do with like Reiki or quantum touch or touch for healing, which was one of the first energetic modalities to move through Western medicine. The nurses were some of the first people to get trained on this. You will, I'm sure, feel the chi much faster. But what I'm also going to talk about today is patience. In this time, a lot of people are plugged into world consciousness. You can be at home feeling calm, so you think it's calm, and then all of a sudden you sort of things switch, and it might not necessarily be you, to where all of a sudden you're nervous. All of a sudden you're uncomfortable. It could be somebody, if you're in an apartment, in another apartment. It could be one of your close friends or relatives. You could be an empath to where you pick up other people's energy. A lot of people feel uncomfortable when they go in crowds. And when they get home, they say, I really don't feel good. I don't like going in crowds. That's because your energy is low. If your energy was high, you wouldn't pick up other people's energy because you're at a totally different vibration. I can go into crowds, into concerts, into the Vegan Festival, into expos, and I feel fine because I meditate before I go, and I meditate on a regular basis. Now, years ago when I was working for GE, I was off on the weekends. So I would get up at 6 a.m. and I would fix some tea, and I would meditate from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. I would get up, go to the bathroom, heat up my tea again, and go back into meditation. I decided that I wanted to challenge this to see if it was real. When I first started taking classes, I was sort of pessimistic as to whether this was real. Was it true? Was somebody just trying to make money with wishful thinking to give people a glimmer of hope for something? And I first started off reading the book, and I really didn't feel anything. I didn't experience anything. Then I met Master How, and I have a video that we're going to show, a link, we're not going to show the video, for Master How teaching classes next week. And I went and saw him at an expo. Then I started taking classes with him. And my heart was open and my mind was open because I really wanted to find something as far as healing was concerned, because I felt like I was like I was a pawn on a chessboard. And I won't really get into that right now. But I felt like if Western medicine didn't know, I was at the mercy of the universe. So I started studying Chinese medicine. I started going for acupuncture and different things like that. I started reading Buddhist books on meditation, and I started having experiences. And when I went to Master House class, I was sitting there and I had drifted off to sleep. He put his hand on my shoulder, and he had on short sleeves. His hand was so hot, it was like a hot compress. And I woke up and I looked at his hand. I didn't do the meditation no more that particular day because I was watching him to see if he was going and sticking his hand in hot water or was he picking up something hot. Over time, I came to find out that that was a chi. He's a master in the energy. He had been practicing Qigong since he was about 6 or 7 because his mother taught it to him. And he was in his 60s by then. Yeah, he was in his 60s by then. And so I had a lot of experiences with Master How, to whereas I came into class one day and I didn't really feel good. And he said, come, come, come. He said, go doctor, you know. And the head Qigong instructor was like, yeah, he thinks you might have strep throat. And I didn't have strep throat, but my throat was really hurting like I had it. But I did go to the doctor. I needed to go because when my throat gets sore, my tonsils swell up like giant grapefruits. So I had a lot of experiences with Master How to know what a master is, which I will explain another time. So mastering meditation, I wanted to get the most from my meditation. So I had the same time every day. I had, we had music, well, they were on cassettes. The meditations and the classes were on cassettes that we practiced with. So we had a moving form, which is either standing form or like a moving form that we did in the morning. And then in the evening, we did a breathing form and we did a quiet form. That's what you did if you were stressed out, if you couldn't sleep, if you were uneasy, you would do the breathing form and the quiet form. So what we're doing and what I showed you last week was a combination of a breathing form and a quiet form. And I'm showing this due to the stress of everything that's going on right now. I had a friend call me that said she almost fainted and she couldn't breathe when they were talking about the virus being in the air and all this other stuff. With everybody that I have studied with, that's Dennis Adams, he's at YouTube, Master Chili Lynn, Master Howe, and right now I can't think of the other guy's name. He's in Canada. Everybody talks about life force is the essential element that runs the body, because the body is energy. Then comes food, then comes water, and then sleep is a major factor. Okay, because if you don't have the life force, and you're going to use up your. Wait a minute, let me back it up. You're born with so much life force, and as you grow older, you use that up. Now, I also was studying Bruno Goring Circle of Friends, and was the leader here in Cleveland for a couple of years. And he was from Germany. And what I want you to really understand, all these people are talking about your body is a battery. Now, when you go to sleep, your spirit comes out your body and goes into the ethers to recharge, to get the energy. Now, I was stressed out after my father died in 1972. I barely slept. And I had a whole lot of anxiety. I was having anxiety attacks all the time. And I went for counseling. They suggested, well, go take martial arts. That'll teach you some sense of control. So I started taking martial arts. I did different martial arts, from Kempo to Taekwondo to Judo to Kung Fu, and I even took karate. And at different points, I never really stuck with anything. The longest that I stuck with was Kung Fu, and that was with Guy Savelli right here in Cleveland, Master Guy Savelli. And in taking martial arts, you learn that you have to be in control of your mind, your thoughts, and your bodies. People just who lose control, 9 times out of 10, if you wind up in a fight or something like that, you're going to lose the fight. Okay, the most calm fighter is the one who's probably going to win. Okay, so we're fighting world consciousness, because if your vibration is not high, you're plugging into world consciousness. Okay, those that are plugged in, I don't even watch TV. I'm not watching Trump. I'm not watching them talk about the virus and all that kind of stuff. I get updates, but I'm meditating. I'm watching comedies. I'm trying to stay calm. I got people calling me who are tripping out, asking me different questions, who would never listen to me before when I was talking holistic stuff, asking me a bunch of questions. So if I don't watch it, I'm gonna pick up their energy, and then I'm gonna be stressed. And it's happened, I would say, in this time a couple of times, where I accidentally got pulled into their energy, and then I had to get myself back together. So when you do the meditation, you're building the life force in your body. Now that picture that we showed of the light coming out of the body, this is what we're fixing to do. That was a picture for me to try to show you that as we start to meditate and we're breathing, that one, yeah. When you get a chance and you're outside, look up past the sun. Do not look at the sun, not for any length of time, because it'll damage the retina in your eyesight. But look past the sun and you'll see these little balls of light. That's the chi and the life force in the field. And we're breathing in the energy into our bodies. Each one of those little lines are like the pores in your body, where you're breathing in the energy, the universal energy. Now you have to qualify this. You're not breathing in the virus. Okay, so your intent and your mind as a divine being, you are connecting to God. You are connecting to the universal tree, because God is that. God is life itself. So you are connecting to the energy. And and we're doing this sitting down. We could do it standing up, but we're doing this sitting down to create a more calm inner being. And we're centering ourselves so that we will be more relaxed. Now, as we do this, and our body being a battery, we are building the reservoir. So as we breathe in, when we breathe in the energy, it's going down to this is the intent. We're sending it down to our dantian, which is 1.7 inches below the belly button. And you're going to deposit, say 70%. don't get highly technical, 'cause that's 70% of us, 35. Huh? Don't get, highly technical. You're just going to breathe it in, and as you exhale, you're sending old energy, tired energy, unresolved issues, events from the past, events from your childhood. You're not thinking about that. You're knowing that you are. You're knowing that you are bringing in the universal life force into your body. You are charging your battery. Now, I'm not expecting anybody to jump off and do 6 to 12. 6 to 12. That's something that I did because I wanted to prove this to myself. I was spending my money. I didn't want to waste a lot of time on something that didn't work. So I decided to be truly dedicated. But you can start this with find music that works for you, that is calming and relaxing, and maybe start with 10 to 15 minutes and try to grow that, because the longer that you do this, the more energy that you will store. I started.
Miss Makia, we were talking in the chat a little bit, and I was wondering if you could touch on this. You were talking about when you breathe in and you're bringing that energy to the abdomen, that you have to have that intention. And I was saying that visualization helps you with that intention to bring that forth. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yes, okay. That's what that picture was, to show you the light. So your mind and your visualization is to connect. Imagine all this light around your body from that picture. See those little shoots of light coming into the body, and they're going into each pore all over your body, the top of your head, your face, your neck, your back, your shoulders, your arms, your lower abdomen, your back, your buttocks, your legs. As we are doing this meditation, which we're going to start shortly, and we're going to breathe this in, you're breathing with the intent. Now, everything is the power of the intent. About the only way I can think about to try to relate this is I'm a musician. I cannot think on soloing at the same time I'm playing, because if I do that, I'm definitely going to make mistakes. My intent is to surrender myself when I'm playing and allow the spirit to play the horn. And all the studying that I've done of the scales and the notes, it just automatically starts to flow and go into the right notes because I have surrendered myself. So we are surrendering ourselves to the divine within us to lead us to where we need to be. So as we breathe in, we're breathing in the light, the universe, the God's presence and energy. We are qualifying. That's what we're connecting to through the intent. Okay. So we're breathing this in through our pores. It's coming in and it's going in to the dantian. This is called body breathing. This is a version of body breathing in through the pores. There's hundreds of thousands of breathing techniques, 5-center breathing, different things like that, where your focus is to connect to the universal energy. This energy is energizing. This energy that you are intending to connect to is rejuvenating. This energy that you are intending to connect to is regenerating. And you think about this, that you are rejuvenating and regenerating yourself. As you breathe this in, it is reprogramming your body to rejuvenate your cells. Your cells make up everything in the body. This is the intent. You are intending that this energy is building the reservoir in your body. This slows down the aging process. This increases blood circulation. It increases the energy flows next to like your blood vessels in a similar way. It is not oxygen. It is energy. It is the life force. And it flows through the meridians. All the meridians connect to your hands, your feet, and your head. And there's over, I forget how many different, actually little small chakras in your body that all this connects to. We're going to talk about chakras next week. So when you're doing this, you are connecting intentionally to the universal energy, to God. So you're breathing in God's energy into your body. It's coming in every pore. So when it's coming in every pore, it's hitting every organ, it's hitting every gland, it's hitting every joint, it's hitting every muscle, it's hitting everything. So it's coming in and it's cleansing it out. As you inhale and breathe the energy in, you are visualizing and imagining that as it comes in, where you might have a pain here, it's moving that out. There was a time when I was having headaches. Don't know why. I have a herniated disc in my neck. I got injured at work. I went to the chiropractor to make sure my neck was aligned, and my head was hurting. I sat down in meditation. It took me a couple of weeks of intending doing this meditation. I would focus on one side of my head, bringing the energy in through the pores. And as I did that, I would feel the pain become less on this side of my head. And it would come down, and when I exhale, it would go out my body. And so I would do that, and then I would focus on the other side. But I was still breathing in with my whole body. And it took a couple of weeks till finally my headache was gone. It was not like migraines are real intense, and it wasn't there all the time. But as I practiced and I visualized the light coming in my head, like raindrops falling on your head, coming in and moving the old energy out of my body, and the headache went away. So I'm gonna ask, are there any more questions? Because we're getting ready to start the meditation.
Excellent. Excellent. We can move forward to the meditation. It is now 10:40.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say, I don't know what I did with the clock. Okay. So 1 second, let me grab the clock. Okay. I don't think it's gonna do any good. I'm gonna need you, Andre, to let me know when the 20 minutes is up. So can you hear the music?
Barely we can hear the music. Very barely. I wouldn't worry too much about it, though. Pardon me.
Okay.
You say what?
Okay, so I'm going to lead the meditation so that we can get focused. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Is it louder than my voice?
No.
Okay, so what I want you to do is when you do this meditation, you have to gain mastery over your body. So you might need to do a little chair yoga and twist to get the kinks out of your back. You know, you might need to stretch to relax your shoulders. You tighten your feet. You tighten your calves and relax. You tighten your knees and relax. You tighten your thighs and relax. You tighten your lower abdomen and your buttocks and relax. You tighten your back and relax. You tighten your chest and relax. You tighten your arms and relax. You tighten your head, your face, the back of your head, your neck, and relax. So if you go through this, since we don't have a lot of time, normally in class we might go through this 3 or 4 times, so tighten and release. So you want to sit comfortable, and I would sit with back support. And your hands should be like on your thighs. Some people like to sit like this, but that creates tension. So you want to be able to go as deep as you can, because the research on meditation that if you go deep enough, it is more restorative, more regenerating, more rejuvenating than actual sleep, because you're having dreams most of the time, and the dreams might distract you and it might be negative. So you're going to start to breathe. And now as we're starting to breathe, we know that there's a field of energy around us. There's a field of love. There's a field of God's presence. You know, they tried to make us think for the longest that there was an emptiness. There's no emptiness because that field is filled with energy. Even though you can't see it, you don't see nothing between me and the light. There's a field of energy here, of information that we can access. So we are accessing God's presence. We are accessing God's energy. We are accessing God's love. We are accessing God's strength. Now, as you do this, at a point, I must say, just be still and focus. And like you can take your intention and put it in your dantian. And by that, I mean, you know, you might want to poke your stomach to see where it's at, below your belly button, and then put your mind there. Because by putting your mind there, you're automatically going to build more energy. But for right now, we're going to breathe in the light. So as we sit here, we are body breathing. Now you might want to practice breathing with your feet first, because most people are earth deficient in energy. Now my feet are starting to tingle. As I breathe with my feet and exhale, when I exhale, out goes old energy. I'm inhaling, and as I'm inhaling, my calves, front and back and sides, I'm seeing the light going in my calves. I'm seeing the light coming up from the earth. Now when I say see this, you are imagining. Visualization is imagination. So you are imagining the white light is coming in from the earth into your feet. You're imagining that those, and from that picture, those beams of light are coming into your legs. And now you exhale, out goes old energy. You are imagining that the light is coming into your thighs, all the way around, with the rest of your leg at the same time. You are breathing and you're imagining that the light is coming in to your lower abdomen and your buttocks. And you exhale, old energy is going out. You are breathing in and intending and imagining that the light is coming into your back and it is going out. You're imagining that the light is coming into your chest. It's coming in, it's going to all your organs and all your glands, and it's revitalizing and rejuvenating. God's presence is life, is rejuvenation, is regeneration, is energizing. Now, with intent, you can do it to energize yourself to have more energy, or you could do it to calm down if you're stressed out, you can't relax, and you're nervous, about to have an anxiety attack. It's your intent that empowers what you do. Mind over matter, mind over body. So you breathe in the energy in your shoulders, in your arms, and your hands. Now, as you breathe this in, you're building a reservoir of energy. You will find that if you do this on a regular basis, and I'm gonna say at least 5 days a week, but if you really want to see if this will work for you, and it will work for you if you're patient. It all depends on how open your mind is. It's not like it doesn't work for people. It doesn't work for the people who really don't practice it. So you're breathing it in, and you're building the reservoir where you're gonna find that you have more energy. You're gonna have less pains. The circulation is gonna improve. It balances your blood sugar. It lowers your blood pressure. There is evidence where it does a lot of different things. And I can't say certain things due to the FDA, due to the AMA. Okay, so this is why I want you to do the research. I have the information at my site. So there's only so much I can say. So it will improve the function of your body. all the organs and the elements of your body. So we're going to sit here quietly and focus on breathing in the light. As we breathe in and as we exhale, we're releasing tension, unresolved issues, aches and pains. We're breathing in the light. Just keep breathing in the energy. The music is going to stop and pause. That's just to catch your attention, to see if you are awake. Sometimes you'll hear clapping noises in the music to make sure that you're awake. And just keep breathing in the energy. Breathe with the intent to become calm, with the intent to relax, with the intent to ease your worried mind, with the intent to rejuvenate, to regenerate, to energize your body. The more chi the body has, the more easily it flows through the meridians. An increased sense of well-being and warmth fills the body. It's an inner warmth, which is a sign of the chi, is a sign of health and wellness. You have cold hands and cold feet, your chi is not flowing smoothly. Your hands and your feet could actually be blocked and not exiting the chi. So just keep breathing in and relax. With this, you're becoming more relaxed with each breath. Imagine the light coming in each pore throughout your whole body. It's going in and it's storing in the dantian. Focus your attention 1.7 inches below your dantian. We're going to do this till the end of the meditation. Just, poke your stomach, below your belly button, and try to take your mind to that sensation of touching that you just did with your hand, and leave it there. Okay, bring yourself back into the room, focus, wiggle your fingers, your feet, sort of shake your shoulders a little bit, your feet, and bring yourself back. Because I don't know what time it is. I just stopped it. My clock is not working. But what I want to share with you is as you practice this, it's mind over matter through the power of intent. Your mind is the most powerful gift from God because God is mine. All is mine. Everything was once a thought, even you and I. Our parents thought about they wanted children. The tablet, the music, everything was once a thought. Thoughts are very powerful things. So we have to try to control our thoughts and think positive. There's a couple of pictures I want to share with you before we go off the air. And that's the picture of me at the tree.
Okay, I can get that up.
Okay, once the weather breaks and the virus is gone, I'm going to be doing free classes at Edgewater. Practicing outside is about 100 times stronger and more energizing. When I was studying Bruno Gorning and running the Healing Circle in Cleveland, I was reading a lot of the books about him and his book where he talked about the power of nature. All the different people that I have studied with and read about all go outside and spend time outside by water in nature in the park and breathe in the field and the energy and rejuvenate their body. Bratzo the Gazer spends a lot of time, he's alive, he's from Croatia, spends a lot of time outside in nature. Bruno Gorning spent a lot of time in nature. All the Qigong masters and the Reiki masters and Dennis Adams spends a lot of time out in nature. In mountains, the energy is off the hook. So what I want to say when it comes to Qigong, there are different avenues of Qigong. We have Qigong dancing, where you put on a music and you sort of surrender yourself and let your body move. You don't pay attention to other people. It wouldn't be to this kind of music. It would be more of a R&B jazzy music for me, but so it's called Qigong dancing. They have Qigong dancing that looks like ballroom dancing. They have dancing with swords and people moving the swords around through different poses, and they are intentionally connecting to the energy, and they can feel the energy. I'm gonna send out some links of some trailers on energy medicine, the latest research coming from the Western mind. The Western mind, what we're hoping is the Western mind will merge with the Eastern mind and philosophy. And then we will truly have a healing modality that will treat the whole person, mind, body, and spirit. Because it might be the mind that's causing the discomfort. It could be the spiritual, because the spiritual hasn't been opened up or developed. So I'm going to be doing Qigong dancing classes. Probably can do those outside at Edgewater. We'll even do it if we can get a pavilion, because meditating in the rain is mind-blowing. We used to have go to different resorts with Master Howe and do weekend retreats. Now, this is a picture of me exchanging energy with a tree. When I first found out about this, I was, yeah, right. That was in the beginning. And I started, when I first did it, the first couple of times, I didn't feel anything. And I was determined to find out if it was real. I went down to Edgewater and started exchanging energy. There's more than one different technique for exchanging energy. And I could feel the energy of the tree coming into my body and going back out. Any given day in China, you can find hundreds, if not thousands of people connecting with trees. They're doing more than just hugging the tree. So I thank you so much for joining me for this and allowing me to have the pleasure of sharing this with you. And I
think that was wonderful. I am actually going to, I know that it's 10:58. And if you guys feel as though you need to leave, feel free to leave. But what I'm going to do right now for the next 5 minutes or so is I'm going to unmute everyone just in case you have a question or something that you want to ask Makia. So if anyone, I got some chats popping up, and let's see. Just thank you. Thank you guys for coming. I think this is
Thank you.
a blessing to be able to do this. You know that the mission of Ease Spirit Ministries of Hope is for each and every person to realize that they have this divine potential within them. And I think that today's presentation really is in line with what our mission is. And I thank Makia for what she has done. I really am enjoying what's going on. She's bringing me back to, at a deeper level, to the art of meditation. And so I really love that. I always meditate, but I'm going into a deeper level. You guys can feel free to talk and ask questions. There are a lot of thank yous popping through. Love the meditation, Doris said. Reverend Morgan says, wonderful, thank you. And Doris says the next one is going to be next weekend, and that's going to be Saturday. We're always going to meet Saturday at 10 until Makia has decided that she's taught everything that she's going to teach in this forum. As long as she wants to come back on Saturday at 10 a.m., I'm going to help facilitate that. So just to let you know, next weekend, we're going to be focusing on the chakras, which I'm very, very excited about. I love what Makia was talking about when she was doing the meditation, and she talked before she started, she talked about this field. She talked about the field of energy that surrounds us. And I'm going to take that to scripture, because scripture tells us that in God, we live, move, and have our being. So therefore, in mind, we live, move, and have our being. And divine mind, that Makia was talking about, we live, move, and have our being. And I will also say that I'm going to take it to the 91st Psalm as well, which is my favorite Psalm right now. I'm really working with it. And it says that if you dwell in the secret place of the Most High, you're under the shadow and protection of the Sovereign One. And
Yes.
at one point in that Psalm, it says that God's faithfulness is a barrier or a protective wall. And so as we are drawing in this energy, we are drawing in that energy that is God. And anything that is not God, you're sealed from. When you get to imagining yourself just surrounded by this divine energy, this is your intention. And this is you speaking to spirit. And so there you have created that sacred space. And you are surrounded by the essence of spirit, and nothing can get past it. All of the talk about the coronavirus, it doesn't come nigh me. So I'm going to share one thing, and then I'm going to let everybody go. I know what Makia was saying about you having this experience from getting this talk from the media, because before I'm working at home now, thank goodness. But before I was working at home, the minute I would go to work feeling good, but because of all the constant talk about what is happening, I'd have to come back and pray and get myself lifted up again. So beware of all of this energy that they're putting out in the atmosphere about this virus, and protect yourself. Is it anyone that would like to say anything, any comments? Would anyone like to ask a question of Makia before we close?
This is
I'm
Alice.
Yes, Reverend.
give my phone number. Okay.
Reverend Alice, did you want to say something? Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question or comment. I have a comment. I apologize, not a question. It's amazing how God reveals to you in the fullness of time why you may have done something when you did it. it just amazes me. I call her Marilyn. So Marilyn, my darling, thank you. I still do that which you taught me to do over 5 years ago, about 7 years ago. And when I came to Chicago, Galen is a master also. He doesn't tell anybody. And he still studies with his master. And I went as best as I could to get some studying in. But because of our granddaughter, it was difficult to go to class because now that, of course, we're on shutdown, there is no class. But I just want to thank Marilyn because when I met her, the energy flow was wonderful. And she and I kind of gravitated to each other, not knowing why. But now God has revealed a little bit more, still don't know nothing, but God has revealed a little bit more to me as to why I was blessed to have her come into my space and into my life. And I just want to personally thank her for her work, her time, her everything, her studying all of these years, even when it appeared that no one was paying attention, but it was for such a time as this. It was for somebody to be on the planet that to keep us from going damn crazy, excuse my mouth. Because with the stuff that's going on, we know it's man-made. We're not going to talk about it. We already know what it is. It's man-made nonsense. And I just want to thank you, Marilyn, and I want to thank Andrea and James. I want to thank each of you that's on, because we are here and put on this planet for today.
Amen.
For this time, this hour. That's why we spent all this years studying and going through whatever we went through, growing, not going, but growing through whatever we had to grow through for such a time as this. We are very, very powerful people. Don't let that escape you. All of you on this call have a mission. God has spoken to every one of your hearts. Whatever he said, do. If it's just a smile, if it's just a touch, whatever he said, do. We must rid the world, help God. We are God. We are God. We know that. We are to help rid the world of the negativity, that negative energy that got a hold on us. And I want to use scripture, and I'm going to be quiet. You may mean it for evil, but God means it for good.
For good.
All things work together for good to those that love the Lord.
Yes.
All
Yes.
things, not some things.
All things.
And all things. And if those who have eyes, let them see. Those who have ears, let them hear. I'm in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing based on the level of my consciousness.
Amen.
I love you,
Amen.
Marilyn. I love all of you. But Marilyn, I got a special love for you, my darling.
Thank you so
For
much.
all of you. I'll be back. I'll be with you. I support. Even if you don't see me, I'm doing God's business in the world.
Awesome.
Okay?
Thank you, Reverend Alice. And I love you as well.
I was going to give my phone number so that
Don't put it out like that, Marilyn, because we do these YouTube videos, and I would prefer if you would pass it on to me, and I will send it to the people that needs it. I know who's in the room. I know every single person. And so, and I have contact information for every single person here. So I'll put some out and they can reach me privately and I'll give them your number. So,
Good idea.
yeah.
I want to thank everybody. Look forward to seeing you in the
I
near
look
future.
forward to seeing, we're just a little over, so I'm gonna go ahead on and I'm gonna say thank you again to Marilyn, and I thank you, and I'm loving this. I get to get private instructions every time we talk and prepare. So I love that as well. She's always giving me tips and things that I need to do to keep myself healthy, and I'm loving it. So I'm going to go ahead on and I'm going to end with prayer. So let's just take a moment to just end with prayer. Father, we give you the honor and we give you the praise and glory. We are so grateful, So grateful for this morning. As we move forward this morning, we know that we are energized by what we have done during this meditation. We know that as we move forth, we are radiating your divine light, Heavenly Father. We know that we are moving forth as vessels of your divine energy, and all that come our way will be blessed as we move forth because you are with us. And so with this awareness of you, Father, as our all in all, with this awareness of you, Father, as this blessing is upon us, with this awareness of you, Father, as the energy that infuses every molecule of our air, radiating in our air. With this awareness, we say amen and amen. And so it is.
Amen.
Is. God bless you all. I really
God
appreciate
bless you.
coming, and
Have a good day.
we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. Oh,
Okay, bye.
yes,
Bye-bye.
11 o'clock. Look for the link for Sunday service. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.